everyone, Karis here, and I'm in Virginia. Right now I'm in Chesterfield, which is outside of Richmond, in a tree in my mom's yard. I just watched two mosquitoes mating. I don't know what was up with that, and I've never seen it before, but I'm hyper attuned to mosquitoes because they are massive here, and there's one on my shoulder right now. Don't eat me. I didn't want to kill it, but it was trying to eat me. It was eating me. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, so I'm here in Richmond because I'm visiting the fam, and I am also, I wonder if that was one of the ones that was mating. Tangential. Anyway, I'm also putting on a workshop tomorrow, an Embrace Your Purpose workshop in Glen Allen, which is like the upper part of Richmond, and it's going to be really fun. I'm doing it with Victoria Costa, who has made, there he is again, who has made some yoga routines, especially for this class. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be really fun. I went to check out the venue today because it's the first time I've been in town since I set it up, and it's a great venue. I'm really excited about it. It's kind of hard to get into. It's kind of hard to find the entrance, so that's going to be like the first task of the day. I wonder how people are going to deal with that because it's kind of like the Tangled Christmas tree light thing. You find who you really are when you're presented with a challenge. So anyway, the sun just went down and it's hot and muggy, and I really like that it's so hot and muggy. It really opens up your pores and makes your skin feel nice, except that muggy also means mosquitoes everywhere, and I'm not a huge fan of being eaten by things that want to suck my blood, but what are you going to do? Such is Virginia life. Alright, to the purpose of this video, I'd like to talk to you about becoming part of a conscious universe. These series of trips that I've been taking recently are opening me up to a new realm of existence, and I think it has something to do with the fact that I'm moving so much, literally, physically moving over the surface of the ground. Yesterday I flew across country with my cat, who's inside sleeping, which is the only reason she's not in this video, and she was amazing. I used Rescue Remedy for her. I keep checking because I am now thinking this mosquito is probably buzzing around me somewhere. Anyway, Rescue Remedy from Box Flower Essences, it was fantastic. And I also had some calming treats that I gave her, and she was cool in her carrier the whole time, and she's still a baby, so I really love that she's getting trained to travel with me. And now she can come with me wherever I go, and she will be at the workshop tomorrow too. So I am realizing as I'm moving across the ground, so I was driving lots on my trip up and down the West Coast last week, and then I just flew out here yesterday, or the day before yesterday, yeah. And I've been moving a lot, and I think it's kind of putting me in another dimension, because when you vibrate more quickly, you are ascending. And so when I've been flying and moving more quickly over the surface of the ground on this planet physically than I ever do when I'm driving for 14 hours at about 70 miles per hour most of the time, or when I'm flying at however many hundreds of miles per hour I'm going, then my molecules are vibrating more quickly, so I'm getting interesting access to realms of thought where normally I might have to work harder to tap into. I might have to really sit there and meditate and balance my chakras and open up my upper information gathering portals and get into stuff, but it's just easier to access this way. And so I think what's happening is right now we're going through all these weirdo transitions and shifts, and we are becoming more consciously aware of our universe. And the reason is because the consciousness that we call God is trying to expand, right? And so if you look at any single religion, this is why I think every religion is a beautiful religion, and I think that every religion is a broken religion, because they're all methods of getting to a deeper awareness of the link between us and the God consciousness, which is just the overarching intelligence that is the living force in all things and is connected to all things, through all things, actually makes up all things, because all things are made of energy, so they're actually made of this living force, and we are part of it too. But the special thing about us is that we are versions of it that can then blossom and become new ones, like an acorn, right? This huge oak tree would drop an acorn. Not this one, it's not oak. I'm not actually sure what kind of tree this is, I just know I love it. It'll drop a tiny little acorn, and then a whole tree can come out of that, which also can drop tiny little acorns, and they can come, and then they can come, and then they can come into existence as humongous, amazing trees, right? So what we are little acorns of the divine consciousness, because we can create realities. And the reason that this reality has been difficult is because we're doing the duality experiment. And so we're in a certain realm of creation where we're getting really down into matter. And matter, the way that matter has been up until now is that it's been made up of light and dark, of matter, antimatter duality, right? Contraction, expansion, going one direction, going the other direction. It's only been a two-dimensional thing. So you've got one dimension, which is a point, two-dimension, which is a line, and then three-dimensional things become real. And so it's been mostly two-dimensional, although it feels three-dimensional to us, and that's a conundrum that I have not quite figured out yet. But what I think is happening is we are learning it. So while we come from a place that is all-knowing, when we're in the physical body, we're not all-knowing beings. And so the point is to bring that all-knowing consciousness down into the physical body. Ooh, I'm seeing a stripe of really rich sunlight on the ground that I'm going to go and sungaze when I'm done with this, so I gotta hurry this up. It's the last sun of the day. It's super delicious and thick and yellow and life-giving. So what we're trying to do is get into this physical domain and become conscious of our divine status in the physical domain. And so we're rewiring our energetic structures. We're putting things through our brains that haven't been there before as a mass species, as humans. We are experimenting with creating things because obviously we don't know perfectly how to create in reality yet, or else each one of us would be living in our own version of heaven on earth. And we're not. So some bit of us knows how to create, obviously, because we're doing it all the time. That's what the law of attraction is, but most people aren't even perfect at that either. So we have most of the high points, but we haven't yet figured out how to do it. And I think one of the ways is to become conscious of your consciousness, which sounds strange, but to just be, to do the whole meditation thing where you can be moving around or you can be sitting still or whatever, and you just feel what it's like to be you. And not in a physical sense, but feel the thing that's feeling the physical sense, which is what Eckhart Tolle talks about in his Power of Now and A New Earth text and all the videos you can find of him, interviews, questions, things like that. But then once you're there, to take it a step farther and feel your connections with things. And for me, this comes in the realm of feeling. It doesn't really come in thinking or picturing. Mine is kind of like an emotional, intuitive sense that then translates as mental and pictures and understandings and things like that. So what we're trying to do is understand reality as if we are creating it, which we are, but we are still on the wobbly part of learning the bicycle. We still go too far one way or the other and hurt ourselves. We need to come back to the middle and find the smooth sailing spot where we have least effort with maximum results. So be patient with yourselves. Figure it out. You are figuring it out. You do already know on some level, but it's up in the etheric realm. So if you can go up and get that info and then bring it down and live it just a little bit, see what works, see what doesn't. All things don't necessarily work. For instance, it is important to do things like move around in this reality. It is important to do things like get things done physically. In other realities, all you might have to do is think about stuff, and they come in other more subtle fields. But here you have to actually do things in order to get balls rolling and start your manifestations working. A lot of times you wait until something shows up, so you let your thought create the spark, and then your answering action does the whole two-part thing, giving and receiving, and then the creation, right? Just like any type of creation. Okay, oh, the sun's almost gone, so I'm going to go get that. Let me show you what it looks like. It's so beautiful. Look, I'm on my little camera phone here because I'm traveling, so I didn't bring my camera. See that beautiful sunlight right there? That is what I'm about to drink with my eyes. I'd highly recommend it right at sunset, right when the sun is the richest, and right when it's filtered through the most atmosphere. It doesn't hurt your eyes. Actually, it feels really good. I don't believe in the 10-second rule. I think that you should do it for as long as it feels good to you and then stop. That's my opinion, and I will talk about it in a longer version another time. Anyway, go in peace. Have a great weekend. Much love, and I'll talk to you again very soon. To show you guys again, this is what I'm looking at right now. This is when you do it, when it's right there by the horizon, and as you're looking at the sun, first it's just the sun, then it gets rings around it until the rings are all the colors of the rainbow, which are not coming through on the camera. And then as soon as your eyes want to look away, you do, and you're full, just like eating. When you eat food, you stop when you're full. When you're sungazing, you stop when you're full. Anyway, there's your info. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.